Hello and welcome to this channel where I talk about trading in the crypto market. I am going to show you guys how I enter these trades, what I look for before entering the trades, and most importantly, some of the rules that I never break. Guys, welcome back to today's video. Today we are going to be talking about the daily BTC and Ethereum update, price updates on the daily, and we're going to be going back to retest, and I am going to be talking about the importance of knowing when to enter a trade, sniping trades, and all of that. So if we go back based on price, we did lose money on our entry. I lost this trade, unfortunately. I know it's not ideal, but it happens. So yeah, we took a loss for today. We hit stop loss. That was a BOS right there. So with that being said, we are going to be waiting for next price setup. At the moment I am going to be staying out of these trades only because I'm quite unsure honestly on where I see price going. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about snipe entries. Like this is one good example right here. So keep in mind that a supply and demand zone is only marked out when there's a big price change, right? So let's say price is going up and then it's a big sell down, right? And of course they are in the form of candles like this, right? And then there's candles going down, whatever. So with that being said, this zone here, this selling point here, before it sells, that is the supply zone, right? So here I want to show you guys the same thing. When I said that it was like this, is the same thing with like this. Okay, so this one there was a huge buy and then a huge sell down, right? So this here would be the demand zone. And I'm telling you right now, if we go say to the 5-minute, this here can be sniped a lot lower. So it can be sniped maybe to this entry point right here, because that was the big buy and then this huge sell, which if you can see, it actually really perfectly touches that zone with this specific spike up with that candle wick. So that's what I mean by going lower time frames, looking for S&D zones, comparing them with box method, and then you will be able to see what I am talking about. Can show you guys another example if it is something you are interested in. Okay, so let's see here. If price broke out, came back in, you see price hit this zone, right? This specific zone. If you see here, there was a huge sell. Let's just do it from here to here and then huge like that, right? The same thing, but the only difference is you can see the huge sell before the buy in this specific zone. Watch, we'll go to lower time frames. We'll go to the 5-minute. If you go to the 5-minute, you will be able to see. Wait, where was that? So we're here. And then if you see on the lower zone, on the lower time frame, there is a sell and then a buy. So with that being said, you can see right there that there was a sell before a huge buy selling up, which is considered the next zone here. You can look right here, and if we extend this out, we can see that price did hit in this exact zone in the future. But the only problem with this, sometimes these zones can be extended out very long, which would invalid certain trades. Like me personally, I do not enter a trade if my setup is 1 or 2 days ago, but it's a lot of the time it's based not on gut feeling but more on based on price movement. If there is a big change, I definitely try to secure my trades a lot more and be going lower, going higher time frames. All of these things are huge factors in being able to snipe your entries and are a huge help in doing all of this. Now if we go to ETH, as you can see, we actually did wait, let me go back to the 15-minute. we actually did lose the trade that we were entering right here. We got stopped out, but there's no problem because it does happen, and of course it is unfortunate. It's never good to take a loss, and I guess you guys can tell by the mode of this and the mood of this video. I do not like starting videos whenever I am in a loss, but I am very genuine, and I am telling you that it does happen, and it's nothing to be worried about, because maybe 1 in 5, 1 in 4, you do lose your trade, but if you look at the math and you are profitable, that's all you really need. But the use of sniping trades only happens when you are rather you're not confident in that specific setup or that trade, maybe because it's held out for a day or two, or your stop losses are a little bit way too wide, which is why sniping is very important, because the ability to be able to trim your zones on where you're entering is just crazy. Because if you manage to get a perfect method on how to actually snipe your trades, that's a gold mine right there, because you're actually lessening down your stop loss. That's number 1. Number 2, the ability to guarantee your entry point with 0 risk of price going against. But of course, there are a lot of times you might not exactly get your perfect entries, like this specifically. Wait, apologies for that. That was a good trade that we had. If you look here, this is going to be my zone, this to this, right? Because before that there was a buy here and then a sell. I mean, this whole thing is considered a zone, but of course we're looking at 15 minutes, so as you can see, price did not necessarily touch properly. You might not have even gotten it on your order block, but it was still a W trade. So what this can do, it will still snipe, because you can still enter at the point of the box, but you can lessen down your stop losses, which is a huge benefit if you guys just know how to properly be able to snipe all your entries. I'm gonna look for another example so that you guys will be able to see. Same thing with here. You can see there's a buy before a sell, and it did hit that exact point right there. Let me mark that out. Right here you can see it's actually almost visible in every trade. The only problem is sometimes the supply and demand zones can seem like they are supply and demand zones, but they're really not, only because price change is not that big. But like, as you can see, this probably was a demand zone somehow. If you mark out this, you can see that somehow this was actually a buy sell, so it is somehow a demand zone. In the higher time frames, maybe this is one whole chart, so one whole candle. So the whole point of that being, it is going to be a selling point. So now, where do we go from here? So the main takeaway I wanted you guys to learn is that trading is impossible to always get right, and it's impossible to control price movement. But what I'm trying to say is the ability to predict and the ability to lessen down risk management, all of these things are hugely important, and the only way you can be able to master these things is by time and experience in trading. So what you do is you find a system, you find a setup, and you wake up in the morning, you look at the chart, like, okay, this is how price is moving. I see a box method here, draw it, wait for it to come back, then we see where price moves. Now you see price break out that box. Wait, let me show you. So let's say this is the box. Price is trading inside, broke out. Okay, now you're looking at this. So what you're expecting is you're expecting price to come back down, and only then will it fly up, right? So with that being said, you should be able to expect and believe in your setup. Now with this, you know price broke out and you're expecting straight up to enter from this zone, right? Because that's the entry point of the box right here. When price breaks out, come back in, but you see a demand zone somewhere in between this box, which is somewhere there. So what you can do is either you lessen your stop loss, or if the demand zone is actually if you're confident in the demand zone, you can even put your entry point somewhere there and lessen down your stop loss by a lot more. Then by that, you can also risk it to a 1.5 and maybe go up to 2.0 ratio if that is something you are confident in doing with that trade. Personally, I think this is a huge help for those that are new, because I learned about this whole sniping thing a little bit late in the game, which I think is helpful early on. But of course, it's a lot more important to master risk management and understanding a proper setup with bias, everything. But down the line, it's very important to learn how you can actually snipe your trades and guarantee a better gain in compared to the other. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I will be seeing you guys in the next one. If you did like it, of course, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.